This is Christina with leadsandleverage.com, and I'm excited to be with you again today. Every week, every Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be here with another episode of The Ribbit Show. So if you're coming on, if you're watching this in replay, if you're watching this live, please comment below. Let me know that you're here. Let me know your name, where you're popping in from. I'd love to know that about you guys. And if you have questions for me, just ask. Ask and I'll help you in future Ribbit Show episodes. Hey, Kim. So today we're actually going to talk about, it's an interesting topic. It's about the tactics that you're using or that we're using on Facebook. But it's actually a little bit more than that. I'm in the middle of writing an article for Inman, and it's kind of a concept of the tactics we use versus the strategy that we need to implement those tactics. And here's what happens. So I'm going to reference my notes for the article, but one of the things I see real estate agents doing a lot, they ask, they want to help on their social media strategy. And then the ensuing discussion is all about how often to post, what to post, how to get likes, comments, and shares on your posts, or, things like that. And then agents are frustrated because they're not getting the reach and engagement that they think they should be getting, which is another tactic. And so the thing is there, Sun Tzu said, strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. So what happens is when you focus on tactics without a strategy, you're just creating noise. You're wasting your time and you're throwing money away. So in all of this, we're always looking for, we sometimes call them hacks, but we're just kind of looking for all these tactics and we grasp at them and we don't have a clear reason and path and roadmap as to use them. So when we have that strategy, it's huge. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this today. The thing is just a little bit. Hi, Mary. Hi, Donna. I really just want to talk to you guys about not jumping on the bandwagon of tactics. And I'm looking at my notes. So if you just jump on that industry bandwagon of using Facebook, if you jump on that bandwagon of using Facebook for real estate lead generation, you need to get yourself a strategy first and foremost, not just a wants leads. If you just want leads, that's not a strategy. That's a desire, but that's not a strategy. So you need to know how Facebook lead generation is going to fit into your overall lead generation strategy for your real estate business. So let's do this. I'm just going to tell you a couple things that you need to have. First, you need to know how it's going to fit in. And so this would be the online lead generation piece. So this would be the piece of that strategy. So your overall marketing. If you know that 100% of what you do in your marketing and your lead all your advertising and marketing, if you know your goal is always to generate leads, that helps narrow down a lot of what you do, because we tend to just go, well, I want to get closings, and so we do all of this random crap like door knocking, and there's nothing wrong with door knocking, but we do it out of desperation rather than using a strategy and a roadmap of here's what it's going to do. Here's how many doors I need to knock on. Here's when I'm going to do it, how we're going to do it, and how it's going to feed into the overall strategy. We just do random stuff. So here's the thing with Facebook lead generation, you need to know who you're going to target. Who are you going to target? You're not targeting Facebook. You're not targeting everybody. Who are you going to target? What are you going to say to them, and what do you want them to do? So that's who and what. When are you going to reach them? Where do you want them to go, and why are you doing this, and why would they want to do it? And finally, like all of these, I'm hitting you with all of these, you get into the how, which is where most real estate agents start. The how would be the different tactics that you're going to use. So how do you implement your strategy? Well, by using certain tactics, but you use them in a logical order. So I really wanted to talk about this because it is so beyond frustrating to watch this discussion go on that, what should I do for my social media strategy? And people are like, well, go get a profile on every single social media site. Guys, that's a waste of time and energy. I've been there. I've done that. It doesn't bring you in leads. And no, you don't need to be everywhere because not everybody's everywhere. That's the first one. The next one they say is go out and have conversations everywhere. That's not a strategy. That's like a lame cop-out excuse for lead generation. It really is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing those things, but it's almost like somebody had no idea what to actually do. So this is the default answer. Well, I really don't know what else to do. Just go do this. Guys, there are things that work better. You need to narrow down your focus. Which site are you going to be on? If you're going to do social media lead generation, which social media site are you going to use? Which one? Which one are you going to use? I don't care how big Snapchat gets. You don't need to be there if you're effectively using Facebook. I don't care how big Pinterest gets. You don't need to be there if you're effectively using Instagram. My point is, and I mean strategy, the reason we jump around to these shiny squirrels is we don't have a strategy. We keep trying all these tactics. We keep trying all these things. And then we're like, why doesn't anything work? It's because we don't have a strategy. We don't know where it plugs into our overall plans. We're just trying desperately to get leads. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need to be getting leads. That's our focus. We need to be list building. We need to be lead generating. We kind of have to have a plan. So when you're focusing on this, when you're thinking about this, figure out what your strategy is first. It's not just wants leads. Your strategy has got to be a clear path from whatever you're going to use or do to that closing table. What's the clear path? What's the strategy? I'm going to do this, this, and this. Are you testing something? How much are you going to test? How much money are you going to put into it? How long are you going to do it? You got to have a strategy. You got to have a strategy. It's not just random testing of stuff. There should be testing involved, but it's not random. So that's one of the reasons this big, strategy versus tactics is a big reason that real estate agents struggle with Facebook lead generation. So let me just hit over those again. First of all, when you come with Facebook lead generation, or you come to it, you need to know who you are going to target. You need to know what you are going to say to them and what you want them to do. You need to know when you are going to reach them. You need to know where you want them to go. And you need to know why you are doing this and why they would want to do it. And finally, you get into the how, which is the actual tactics. How do you implement your strategy? You have all these pieces. Now, how do I implement it? What's my budget going to be? How long am I going to do it? You already know who you're targeting. You know all those pieces that I was just talking to you about. If you know all those pieces, it makes all of the rest very easy. So that's what I mean. You got to put the tactics into an actual strategy. So hopefully that helped you guys. I noticed that we're having some weak connection stuff, so this is probably going to be better in replay. If you're here, if you're still listening, please comment below. Let me know that you're here. If you have questions for me and you want me to talk about them and answer them on The Ribbit Show, then go ahead and put a question, #Ribbit, on our Leads and Leverage business page and ask me your questions and I'll answer them for you during another episode of The Ribbit Show. Thanks, you guys, and have a good afternoon.